The student loan payment pause is coming to an end. Federal loans will start accruing interest on September 1st. By the way, that is on Friday. And payments are resuming in October. Paul Hood with Hood CPAs joins us this afternoon with how you can prepare. Paul, good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Get your OSU orange on.
Got it. Go Pokes.
Yeah.
It's that week.
This is going to affect a lot of people, so let's talk about it. If you have federal student loans, what are the things that you should be doing right now to prepare?
Well, the strange thing is a lot of people need to figure out who they're going to make a payment to. The loans oftentimes are sold and moved around. Interest starts Friday, September 1st. Payments will start again in October. Now, just like typical government style, they've given us what they call an on-ramp to where you can actually defer payments in some cases for another year, but the interest is going to accumulate. So the challenge is right now, what do you pay and who do you pay? And so hopefully a lot of the people that hold the debt will be contacted.
Yeah, and you mentioned that there are different repayment options. Is that the deferring it? I mean, is that an option? Are there other options besides that?
Yeah, we don't really know exactly. It's so the federal government has said there's this on-ramp that you can ease your way into it. So there's a little bit unknown. Yeah. I'm trying to say a big word as a cowboy.
Ambiguity.
Ambiguity, yeah. As to is it all on or all off? Can you start, if your payments are supposed to be $150 a month, can you start with $75 a month? That's the expectation, Coop, is that they're not expecting people just to jump back in with both feet. But you got to understand your interest is accruing, whether you make a payment or not, or whether you make the full payment or a half payment, it's now accruing.
Yeah, with interest rates high, I'm sure it's going to get even higher.
Yeah.
So, are there options for forgiveness right now? I mean, I know that they've forgiven some other stuff before, but can you still get your payments forgiven?
Well, right now, the only thing that I know of is not a good option. There's obviously during bankruptcy, sometimes these things are forgiven. And you can look at some of those if it's really an economic strain. I anticipate the financial institutions will be willing to work, again, with the idea of the on-ramp, to work your way back up into it. Maybe you're making 10% of the payments that you normally were supposed to. I would recommend you figure out what your interest is and try to at least pay the interest so it doesn't grow on you and then accumulate, interest on top of interest on top of interest. So, but it's a time where you got to sit down and look at your budget. Unfortunately, we live in a country to where most people can spend more than what they make and not even realize it. Most realize it, they just put their head in the sand. So it's a good time to figure out what money's coming in, how can you rearrange things, and seek a financial advisor that potentially can help you with some debt restructuring and those kind of things. But it's a tough time. In the past we could go in and say, all right, well, maybe you borrow some equity on your car or your house. But with interest rates so high, a lot of times that's not a good option, especially with student loan debt.
Don't file for bankruptcy.
No, absolutely not. That was not a recommendation.
All right, Paul, thanks. Good to see you.